Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second. I won't change my mind.
Welcome back, Posh Fam. As you can tell from my voice, it's struggle street. I've got laryngitis and I am struggling with my voice. So hopefully I can get through this commentary without having to seek emergency help. However, before we get into the talking points, that was Real Housewives of Atlanta episode 11. I would have to say thank you so much to my newest subscribers. Thank you for coming on board. We call ourselves Posh from here. Do not forget to constantly watch these videos that I chuck out. Like my videos as well and comment. I would love to hear from you. And as you do that, it means a lot. Share this channel with your family and your friends. Thank you so much for joining and stay on, okay? To my existing subscriber, you know, you're my ride or die. Thank you guys for staying the course. I do appreciate all your support. Again, always like and comment as well as share this channel with your friends and family. With that said, let's get into the commentary that was Real Housewives of Atlanta episode 11. There was a bit of a drama, as you know, with these women. There is something that always causes animosity between them or amongst them. This time, you know, they are in Lisbon, Portugal. From episode 10, it ended with Drew walking out following the conversation she was having with Shree. So it opened, episode 11 opened with that conversation continuing or concluding. We can see Drew crying her heart out. According to her, she's not been heard. Her feelings are not being validated. I'm not sure exactly why all of this is happening. Now, what they were talking about, someone accusing her of not paying up on her bills or whatever she did with this particular person that is taking her to court over $1,000. Now, Drew is saying the money is not the issue. It's the fact that they've paid this particular person, but then she's going to the blogs. There's a little bit more backstory that she's not letting us in, and good on her for, you know, keeping it to herself. We don't really care. I'm not interested in that, in all of the deets. However, she feels that Shree making a joke or speaking on the issue, given the fact that it is an ongoing litigation at the moment, means that Shree is not validating her or respecting her in that regards. Sheree's like, well, I did not know exactly, you know, the specifics of your legal situation, and we did not know the severity of it either. Kenya chimed in to say, we cannot split this $1,000 supposedly bill you're owing amongst 8 of us. And Drew went on to say, it's not the money. It's more, there's so many things that she cannot say that's happening as well. And girl, I guess we can speak on Drew's behalf. Her husband is all the way in Las Vegas with someone that apparently wants him on a Magic Mike show. Now, from what Drew is saying, there's been some flirtatious moves from this lady. During her music video shoot, there was some massage giving, and now she's inviting him to Las Vegas, and he gladly went. She doesn't trust him, given all their history, rightfully so. And so she is up in her feelings, and I guess manifesting in the way it is manifested now with the gathering of this of the ladies in Portugal when this whole $1,000 litigation conversation started. I am so glad that they were able to sort of nip it in the bud and meet each other halfway and apologize for each other's representation or false representation of the situation. So they went back in. But guess what? Candy thought it was a joke because according to her, it wasn't that big a deal. She's been on a lot more serious arguments and not having to emotionally bust out crying and walk out. And so she feels like there is some level of pretense going on. So they addressed that at some point during this episode. But then the conversation then went back to Candy because the girls were like, Candy, you're not always around. You've been missing in a few of our group sessions and everything. You're not present for us. To which Candy defended and said, well, I'm busy with a lot she has got going on. She has this show with her group, her bandmates, and basically the fear of her working a lot is embedded in the sense that having been in a place of having so much and losing it, there is that constant fear that you don't want to lose it again. Like, that's the thing. When you are on top, the pressure to remain on top is immense. And so you're going to definitely try to work your butt off to remain at that level where you feel it's comfortable. And that's exactly what she's projecting. The fear of losing it all is what is pushing her to continue on. Now, I do not know if this conversation is well received by the girls. I can say one thing for sure. Marlo and Candy seems to be on a good space. Like, they are in the same space without having to give each other the weird looks. You know, they are sort of chiming in on conversations, not talking to each other. I haven't seen that part yet, or it was manifested, but not in the sense where there's like a deep communication, but they are able to mutually coexist in a space. So that's like amazing. It appears that the girls were sort of concerned for Candy's workaholic nature, and so they were advising her to, you know, have a good work-life balance, basically take care of yourself as well as look after your family and also be there for us. I don't know if it was coming from a good place. I would take it, because night one seems to be a success, because you know how it is with these girls. They go on a trip, they go on vacation, they have a girls' time out, and it always ends in chaos. I guess we can say, Shree, night one of your healing trip to Portugal is a success. So the next day, which basically was the highlight of this particular episode for me, Shree came up with this itinerary that they were all going to do together. And majority of them all got ready, got on the bus, with the exception of Kenya. Now, Kenya, if you know Kenya, she is a perpetual late comer. She's always late for everything. We can see how sipping on teas and everything while the other girls were already in the bus waiting for her. Now, some people would say, this right here is why you're not supposed to be late. Because it rained all day in Portugal. And I'm not sure, but I'm just going to play the video so you can watch it. It was a classic scene because Kaya went onto the first door to exit, and then I don't think the door opened, so she came through the other door. There was a wet floor sign clearly saying the floor is wet. And boom! There she goes on the floor. Sorry, I should not laugh. Well, she's okay, guys. She is okay. And that's why I can actually laugh. She went straight on the floor. And you could see the girls on the bus like, oh my God. Like, it was an oh my God moment. I actually felt like I had a bone or a cocktail. Like, I don't know, shift or something. Anyway, it kind of ruined the girls' day, the plan they had, as Candy had to then go with Kenya to the hospital because an ambulance had to be called. She wanted to check that she was okay. She didn't break any bones and stuff like that. Good on them. Candy followed Kenya to the hospital, and from what we could gather, it was a long 7 plus 8 hours wait as they went to a public hospital, and they don't speak Portuguese or whatever they speak in Portugal. And so communication or trying to conversate, again, public system in the heat of COVID-19, you would have to wait. In the public system, there's a long wait. And so they had to wait to be seen. The girls carried on the day. They went to a fish market. It was just raining, basically. So the whole plan that was listed at the start was pretty much ruined. They did have a good time, I would say. Eventually, Candy joined them to give them an update, or they called in to find out what was going on. And they got the update that we're still waiting. Eventually, Candy and Kenya left the hospital with KFC in tow. All was clear. The scan they did was fine. They came out all clear, so there's no broken bone. Thank God for Kenya. Girl, you need to wear proper shoes and you need to look around you, your surroundings, where you're going to. It is hard. And you know, as we get older, I think we become fall prone. I don't know why. Why the older you get, there's the higher risk of falls and slips and trips. Is it because bone density reduces? I really don't know. But again, I'm the doctor here. Let's continue with our commentary. Now, before the girls continued on to the itinerary that Shree had planned, just after the fall, as the ambulance was taking Kenya to the hospital, there was something that Courtney said that just rattled me. It caught me off guard. Courtney was like, the fall was karma on Kenya. Now, Courtney, you've only been on the show like 3 episodes, right? 3 episodes in this season, and you're already picking on Kenya. Girl, I don't know if you know this chick. She's gonna come for you. She's gonna eat you up. She will eat you up. Now, I think she was alluding to the fact that she's been very touchy-feely towards Kenya, and Kenya wasn't reciprocating all this particular touchy-feely. According to Kenya, you don't know me like that. We're only getting to know each other. We're not there yet with your touching me. And I guess she was offended by Kenya's rejection, or should I say standoffish approach to her gesture or friendly gesture. I don't know. And so she's saying that Kenya's fall is karma to her. That was a bit off-putting. She was having this conversation with Drew, and I think Drew, because they are sort of related, I don't even know how the relationship works, isn't able to admonish her or rebuke her right there. But from her conversations or conversation with the video production, she said she didn't like it either. And for some reason, you should have called her out on the comment she made regarding karma. Now, during the dinner that was meant to be with with all the girls, but obviously Candy and Kenya and they're at the hospital, the conversation went from the hot chef who has this very subtle accent. Malo couldn't help herself already. Malo, you already have a chef boyfriend. Now stop. Now leave this man alone. And the man obviously knew he was, getting attention from the ladies. He kept doing it, coming in, introducing green wine that wasn't really green, and it turned out to be white wine that had some green history title. I'm like, what is this? Anyway, the girls were drinking this wine and moved on to the fact that during the Chrome get together, or should I say the final send-offs that Ralph organized for the ladies, Kenya introduced Roy to the group, and Malo apparently had a conversation or went on a date with Roy in 2018. And so I think Moyeta wanted to say that it wasn't appropriate, or it was, should I say, not nice for Malo to bring up the fact that she's been with the guy, to make it seem like he was not into Kenya. And again, of course, Shree had to chime in to say, well, when you guys brought the DM regarding Mattel, it was okay for all right. And on cue, Mattel called. I'm like, okay, whatever. That then progressed to the fact that Shree wanted to let Drew know that Candy made jest of her emotional outbursts during trip night 1 of the Portugal Get-Together. They had to let Drew know that when she got up and left, Candy said end scene. And they wanted Drew to know that, well, this is a friend that you're supposed to be calling your friend, and look at how she's treating you. Oh God, I'm like, this is so petty. These girls are just, they don't have enough to fight on now, and so they are going to try and be petty. So I think the idea was to get Drew to push this particular narrative onto Candy to get a reaction, a negative reaction, I guess, that would solidify the divide, so there is less for Candy to have in the group, and more for the Shree and Malo side, as well as Sanya's side. It was just weird. And we're going to get into the confrontation, or should I say, Drew then bringing up the conversation to Candy. It was just weird. We'll get to that shortly. The episode concluded with the ladies going to a pottery place to, have a painting session, and then deciding, okay, we're gonna have a slumber night because this was Candy's last night with the girls in Portugal. This particular slumber session was going to be more like a confrontation between Drew and Candy. Well, it happened. Drew wanted to know why Candy was dismissive of her feelings, and Candy was like, well, we've seen you in a lot more confrontational conversations that has been heated, and you haven't been this melodramatic, and I felt you were acting. Anyway, it went back and forth with the fact that Candy didn't recognize that Drew was definitely having a real moment. Okay, well then Candy said, well, I'm sorry, don't take it the wrong way. And it then went on to Sanya, because as we all know, during the charity event that she hosted, her sister walked away or wasn't there or left after making her hair or styling her up. To which was like, yeah, they're going through a lot of issues. The sister, they're not, in the same headspace. They are having disagreements, and she's hoping that they can resolve it. But one thing is now clear for her, and that is there is now a timeline to the family not living in one space anymore. Well, Sanya, you figured it out just yet? Anyway, that then progressed to Shree saying that she's not been supported by the girls, in buying her mesh. So the girls were like, well, we did try, just that your site was down, for a long period of time. And she's like, well, my site is up. And then with the girls purchasing a few merchandise from the She by Shree website. I guess the Kumbaya moment continued on and production wrapped. Only for 1 hour later, we saw a hibaji. What was happening? There seemed to be an argument from 2 years ago, from scenes that happened 2 years ago with this Bolo. Remember, Bolo made Portia leave the show. I don't know. And now Drew was there was a conversation that Drew kissed a girl called Latoya. And Drew is like in denial that she didn't kiss this girl. Marlo apparently saw the kiss happen. Candy said she was there when this kiss happened. Latoya even alluded to the fact that there was a kiss during the reunion. Only Drew seemed to think that nothing happened. You know what? Candy was like, you're not gonna lie about this. I was there, I saw it. You're like delusional here. This particular episode ended on a cliffhanger because we can then see that 3 months after Portugal, Drew and Ralph, the divorce situation came up. So I cannot wait to unpack how this particular case led to more accusations of infidelity on Drew's part, and ultimately the demise of the marriage between Ralph and Drew. Guys, stay tuned. And if you have watched up until this point, thank you for tolerating my voice. And I hope I was audible enough, because I really don't know what I've been talking about in the last few minutes. But thank you so much for watching. Until next time where I come on here with more commentary on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, stay safe and be focused, guys. Thank you.